Hi, my name is Jen. I live in Seattle. We are zone 8B. What I wanted to do today is give you a tour of our new garden beds that we've built in the front yard. And then in future videos, I will show you how we planned for the front yard garden bed. And in another video, we'll show you how we actually built those raised beds so you can have an idea of the materials we used, how we planned it, and how we put them together. So be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss those future videos. Okay, so here's my garden. This is the new garden. I think they're beautiful. These were not fast and cheap. They took several weekends to build. And there's a couple tomatoes. On the left are two early girls. On the right is a Doma tomato, and then a zinnia in the corner. And then this is a space I'm saving for peppers. These are tomatoes I bought at the local nursery, already started. And I have some pepper plants I bought at the local nursery that I'm just waiting for it to warm up a little bit before I put them in this space. I think this bed gets the most sun out of the day, so that's why I'm putting the pepper plants here. They require a lot of heat and warm soil. And then these are either chives or scallions. I just sort of had a lot started from seed, and I just started throwing stuff in the garden and they look the same. So until they get bigger, I won't know what those are. And I have a zinnia there, and I have a marigold seed. I think you can see it right there. In front here, I have mint. I have two different varieties of mint coming in here. And then there was a bald spot, so I put some cilantro seeds in there so you can see some cilantro popping up. These are some purple snap peas that I got from Hudson Valley Seed Company. Can't remember the exact name, I'll put them on the screen. They're going to be purple snap peas. Then I have some broccoli growing, a row of spinach. These are chives. I marked these, and then so these were all planted in March, I believe. They're still pretty little. And then just a couple weeks ago, I did some succession sowing. I have lettuce and spinach here. So I've been starting lettuce and spinach and kale every 3 or 4 weeks. Kind of have it throughout the summer. And then in this pot, I have this thyme that's been growing forever. And I planted some basil seeds in the top, and then I have other herbs around these other things. I think it's dill and or cilantro. I'm not really sure. We'll find out when it comes up. This is a bed that has soil in it that I wheelbarrowed from the backyard beds, and so this is established soil that's been amended with a little bit of compost on top. This is bok choy growing in the back. Those are some beets. I have a pack of beet blend. I believe it's from Hudson Valley Seed Company. Some carrots growing here. They're a little bit sparse, so I may have to replant some of those. And then here I have scallions and chives, and then some romaine lettuce. I'm not sure why I have so many chives. I love scallions, but the chive situation is a mystery to me. I think I was just excited to plant seeds. Oh, I say that because here are some more chives. I just started putting them everywhere. So this garden bed's doing really well. This is a bed I had sowed seeds in mid-March, March 17, and they weren't doing well. So I planted them at the same time as I planted these, and they were just teeny tiny. So I had bok choy and I had beets. I had all the same stuff planted at the same time, and they were teeny tiny and not growing. This is different soil, and so rather than losing an entire crop for the summer, I just turned them under and amended the soil with some compost and worm castings and started over. So I have bok choy growing, kale, I have more beets, I have 4 different kinds of onions and scallions, or shallots, things like that. And then I have like a couple rows of carrots that will come up here. So this was supposed to be my first bed. Now it's my last bed. So we'll see how that goes. Over here we have a couple of tomatoes that I had bought at a nursery. Amish paste and Roma tomatoes and a zinnia. I also have some marigold seeds coming up along here. And then I have a couple different varieties of green beans. These are your basic, I don't know, Kentucky blue or blue pole beans, one of those basic beans. And then these are scarlet emperor beans. So they're just really taking off. The rest of this bed I'm saving for some other plant starts I have coming, like eggplant, some squash. I forget what else I ordered, but I'm picking some stuff up that I ordered online. So that is west and this is south. So except for this giant tree here, we really get a lot of sun in these front beds. So I'm going to take a real quick detour. We have some kiwi vine, some kiwi berries growing on this vine that goes up the trellis, up the arbor. And then I just plopped in some sunflower seeds in here. So we have some sunflowers growing on the outside of our fence. All along here, sunflowers along with some zinnia seeds. I can't remember what this is called. I transplanted that from somewhere else. This is our mailbox, and I have given our mail lady a barrel of wildflowers. So they're just a packet of wildflower seeds, and then I put 1 sunflower in there. This is some more lettuce that I succession planted, and then I also threw a couple of cilantro seeds there and there in the corners. So we have some lettuce coming up. This is my bed of potatoes. I've never grown potatoes before in my whole life, so I'm pretty excited about this one. The potatoes are buried, and then these little shoots are coming up, and then probably in a week or so they'll be this high, and then I'll fill it in with some more soil, and they'll keep growing up and up and up, and I'll keep adding soil and soil and soil, and then the potato tubers grow along the stem of what continues to grow up. And so at the end of the summer, when they're ready to pick, we just have to do like a scavenger hunt to find all the potatoes. It's pretty fun. So this is my first time doing that. We'll see how it goes. I can't remember what potatoes they are, but they're like a Yukon Gold type yellow potato. This is another packet of wildflower seeds. I think this was a pollinator pack, and I believe there's 3 or 4 sunflowers. Those look very much like sunflower starts. So I don't know if these are going to be giant sunflowers or whatever, but there's just a whole thing of pollinating flowers in there. These are also some green beans in the back here. So these were all succession planted. So these were planted earlier. You could see how big they are, starting to climb. These were planted a few weeks before those over there, just to spread out my harvest a little bit at the end of the summer. Zinnia there in the corner. This is broccoli. This is cauliflower. It's my first time growing either of these, broccoli and cauliflower. Again, this is either chives or onions. I can't remember. I just had some extras. I'm telling you, they're everywhere. We'll see. And then here are some seeds that I just planted in a couple weeks ago. I have some kale. I've got about 9 leeks planted in this square foot area. I'm using roughly the square foot planting method. And then I have 3 rows of carrots. This is a different variety of carrots. In the other bed I have purple something, I think purple cosmos. These are black Nebula carrots, and so these will be fun. I've never grown these before. And then I just wanted to try growing some cabbage. So I have some cabbage growing here. I've never done that before, so we'll see what happens. And then I've got marigold seeds along here. We have a blueberry bush. This is a variety of blueberry that's like a lemonade blueberry. The berries actually come out pink, and they're pink lemonade. This was here when we moved in, so I'm kind of excited about that. This was a pot that had an ornamental something in it, and I took it out and amended the soil, and I think I might put a big old basil bush in there. We'll see. Maybe I'll use it for flowers. This is another blueberry bush. You need a couple blueberry bushes to pollinate. This is a blue blueberry bush. I don't know the variety. It was here when we moved in. All right, the sun is starting to get a little brighter, so we'll see how fast I can get through this. Here we are in the driveway. Down here we have some strawberries. There were a few planted over there. You can see they're bigger last year, and then when we moved in there was already a few here, and then last year I added to go all the way around some more strawberries. This is a currant bush, currant berries. Look at all these blossoms. I can't even believe it. Last year this thing hardly put out any berries, and it was very low, and it had some old branches, so I trimmed off all the old branches, and then these stunning new branches came up, and they're just gorgeous. They're just beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. Get them in the shade a little so you can see them. Last year I had green beans and tomatoes. I had the green beans growing up these trellises. This year, as you can see, I put them on the other bed. These are Cherokee purple heirloom tomatoes. I'm doing something new this year. I planted them super close to the trellis, and then as they grow up, I'm gonna stake them to the trellis instead of using tomato cages. I've never done it that way before. For those tomatoes that are, in this part of the garden, I'm gonna use tomato cages as usual. But for these, I'm going to try staking them. A YouTuber I watched does that, so we'll see what happens. This whole space is going to be for my basil. These are Paul Robeson tomatoes. I've never grown these or the purple Cherokee. Basil will also go here. This is the spot I'm saving for our beloved Sun Gold tomatoes. They are cherry-sized tomatoes, and they are sweet like candy. I started them a month after the other ones, so I'm probably going to get them in the ground this weekend. And then basil. I wanted to show you this Paul Robeson tomato, tiny, and this is the same as those planted at the same time. This was planted in the same soil as I had planted a bunch of stuff in here that I took out and started over. So this was my first indicator that that soil was not great. So it's healthy, it's doing fine, it's just growing really slowly, just like those other seedlings were. So now this is in the ground, it's in compost and amended soil, so I'm hoping it'll catch up to the other ones. But this was my canary in the coal mine that gave me an indicator that that soil may not be as great as that soil. Gardening is a lot of trial and error. I still had time left in my season to till it under and start over. I'm just gonna have a harvest a little later than I had anticipated.